So, I like Scott Galloway. I don't always agree with him, but I like him. He had a rant about the funding of Ukraine.
I want to get to the meat of it before we get off the pod today, that I
Yeah.
do have a huge I have a financial and fiscal problem with continuing to send money to Ukraine, and I have an ideological problem with continuing to send money to Israel. And I think they're both pretty fleshed out, but I would love to hear what your buddy has to say.
I think that I keyed in on that gripe because I kind of like instinctively have that too. And Scott Galloway answers that gripe in a way that presents a lot of like not just facts or whatever, but like emotion in a way that I can't do. So I really liked this rant that he did the other day. So this is it's 3 minutes. Bear with me, everybody. Okay, here we go.
Every manager's job and every leader's job is to allocate capital to a greater return than another manager or another leader. And the ultimate managers, if you will, is the U.S. government and the president. We have to decide whether they allocate our resources and our revenues and our military to a greater return than other leadership around the world. That's the whole shooting match. And my prediction is that in 10 or 20 years, we're going to look back, and the greatest return on investment in this era wasn't an investment in NVIDIA. It wasn't even an investment in infrastructure. The greatest return on investment will be the $75 billion and the $92 billion that America and the EU, respectively, have invested in helping Ukraine push back on Russia. And in exchange for that investment, this is what we have received. We have received, one, that the EU has become a union for the first time and has in a very purposeful way said that we are an ally of the United States and that we can work together in pushing back autocracy and when individuals decide to try and invade and expand their borders. Two, this has effectively been, people are under the false impression that this is sending money over to Ukraine that is then immolated. It's not. This is an effective stimulus plan for the United States. Because of that, if you will, $160 billion, approximately 2/3, if not more of it, ends up in one of 38 states in the United States that builds military equipment. This has been effectively a stimulus plan for the United States. And we have given every autocrat, whether it's Xi or Kim Jong-un, we have given them all pause that if they want to invade an island off the coast, Taiwan, that a well-armed, technically sophisticated sovereign nation with the support of a unified West should not be fucked with. This is the greatest return on investment of capital. This is about 10% of our military budget that we have recognized in decades. And I hope, and also this bullshit that the EU isn't paying their fair share. The EU has paid more. They have paid invested a greater percentage of their GDP, much of it coming back to Western suppliers and weapons producers. We have battle-tested weapons technology. We have developed an entirely new technology around effective drones. This, I hope we continue to make one of the greatest investments on an ROI basis. And by the way, folks, we have not put a single boot on the ground here. So to not continue to make what will be seen as the greatest investment by the West in the last 30 or 40 years, just selfishly, we are investing in a stock that keeps going up and returning enormous dividends to the United States. And I hope that Congress begins to frame this as the greatest return on investment, or the greatest investment we have made in a long time.
That canard about them not paying their fair share, they pay more than their fair. They pay more than us. It's so ridiculous. They just keep repeating it.
Not pay, invest. I want to use different. They've invested more than us.
It's an investment. You're right. It'll if we do not do this and Putin prevails, it'll be so costly later. We'll be spending this much money. It'll be trillions.
Okay. Thoughts?